Oh yeah!
Alright, how is it going, guys? So for any of you who follow me on Twitter or Facebook or who stalk me along the streets in real life, you'll know that about 3 weeks ago I went on tour with my lacrosse team from my university and we went to Spain, and it was a merry old time. And while we were there, we exhibited quite a lot of what I would like to call laddish behaviour. If you don't know what a lad is, the probably unifying idea would be a male about my age who goes to university and drinks a lot. That's probably the only criteria which you really need to be a lad, as I will specify the different subsets of lads in this video. So for my lacrosse club, while you are endlessly waiting for me to edit the tour video, this will have to do. Here are my 5 types of lad. Number 1 is lads. Now this is your classic type of lad, and now if you are American, you can think of these pretty much as jocks. A lad will exhibit quite a lot of specific behaviour, and it will usually be playing rugby, often with very short shorts on and either a string vest top or no top on at all, and usually with a backwards baseball cap. You will often also see lads exhibiting quite a lot of borderline homosexual behaviour, but it's fine because they are lads and they play rugby, so it's not gay. So you often see them doing things like taking shots from each other's foreskin and sucking each other off, which isn't gay because they're lads. Number 2 are the quiet lads. Now these are the people who would be lads, but just can't really be bothered and don't really have the willpower to do it. This is probably the smallest subgroup of lads, but they are a very real and existent group, and the reason why you might not believe me that they're real is because they're very quiet. You'll often see quiet lads going out to Spoons for a drink together and then having to change table because there's people who are a bit too loud on the table next to them. They would love to go out on a really crazy night and get insanely smashed and arrested by the police, but it's quite a lot of effort, so instead they have a few brews, they get a bit drunk, and they get off with averagely hot girls. Number 3 are the justice lads. Now, justice lads on the surface come across exactly like lads, and they are pretty much exhibiting a lot of the same behaviour, but the time when you will see the difference between justice lads and lads is when something which needs justice happens. I don't know if I'm explaining myself very well right now, but I'll have to draw on an experience from tour itself, which I was recently on, if I didn't already mention that. I was actually on tour in Spain with my lacrosse club, by the way. Basically, we were outside and we were all being borderline lads, borderline ironic lads, which I'll get onto later. And there was some rugby people next to us. I know it probably sounds like I've got a bit of a grudge about rugby people right now, and you might see why in the next following statements which come out of my mouth. Basically, we were sitting next to these rugby people, and they started smashing bottles on the floor, and then eventually they threw a bottle over near us, and that changed the mood quite considerably. And one of my friends, who is just a perfect example of a justice lad, said, "This is just unacceptable," and he stopped the silly and mischievous behaviour which we were showing at the time, and he went over and he said, "Guys, this really needs to stop." In my opinion, justice lads are the best type of lads because they can go out, they can have fun, but they will not have so much fun that it ends up hurting someone else. I mean, they might break the law, but they're not going to break your heart. So, good on you, justice lads. And then number 4, as I mentioned before, is ironic lads. Now, ironic lads are kind of confusing because basically an ironic lad tries to emulate a lad as much as possible, but in a totally hilarious and ironic way. It's a subtle difference, but I hope I'll be able to explain it to you. Okay, basically a lad would go like this: "Oi boys, do you want to go get some shots from the bar?" Alright then. Whereas an ironic lad would say, "Oi guys, should we go do shots from the bar?" And then they will actually go and do shots from the bar. Ironic lads show pretty much all of the same obnoxious behaviour that lads do, but they know that they're doing it, and therefore it's funny, and therefore it's fine. And now finally I come on to number 5, and this is just the worst type of lad, and it is a wannabe lad. And basically, it's pretty self-explanatory, but wannabe lads are people who try their bestest to be lads, but just fall very far short. Wannabe lads will exhibit behaviour such as going to the bar with the other lads to have shots and then immediately throwing up, or taking a massive amount of cocaine and then having a heart attack like a little crybaby. Nobody wants to be a wannabe lad, and so if that sounds like you watching this video right now, then cut that crap out. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. If I had to say where my lacrosse club was on the scale of 1 to 5, which isn't a scale at all because it's just 5 different things, I would say that we're probably mostly ironic lads, but we do kind of blur the line between ironic lads and lads so much that we do sort of edge into wannabe lad territory, and so, yeah. And so you might be thinking, wow, well that means that you guys suck, like you just said. But, I have now acknowledged that we behave like that, and therefore we are now ironic wannabe lads. So it's now funny again. Yeah. And to anyone out there who plays rugby, I know you don't all behave like what I've been saying in this video, and I know that the people next to us who are throwing bottles at us like meanies are not representative of you all. It's all just a bit of quanta and a little bit of shanta thrown in there. So don't cry about it, okay? Anyway guys, like I said, hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and I will see you all again soon. Bye. What a load of shanta.